No pity, no remorse, no fear! Brothers, lend us your sword! Capture that area! Confirmed!
Thanks for joining me, everyone. Well, as you heard, we have a special voiceover for you in this Kraken video. I'm running Mainz Collector's Edition, and as you guys know, this is definitely a powerhouse of a cruiser. There is the new Mainz version in the crates, so if you're lucky to get it, stay tuned for the Shipping Commander setup.
Brothers, lend us your sword! This is your burden to bear. The full bridges of our sword!
Not only is the voiceover on point, but the lines are epic. This is by far my favorite commander to date.
Let them face our wrath!
This commander's wrath comes in the form of armor penetration. This guy will make a German cruiser just punish anybody in its crosshairs. You really have got to get this guy if you don't have him the next time he is available, because the armor penetration value is just sick and crazy. It makes him almost OP.
Forces airborne! Detected an enemy cruiser approaching! Emperor guides our blows! Enemy battles detected! Enemy cruiser has fallen, Commander! We are the Angels of Death! Brothers, concentrate fire on my target!
We are the Angels of Death. That is by far the most epic line any commander could say. So this guy is just a blast to listen to. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh god, I gotta kill somebody again. Let me hurry up. I gotta hear it.
That's a worthy challenge! The Auspex has detected an enemy cruiser approaching! Cruiser eradicated! One less enemy of man! By the Emperor's will! Our frozen utility ships solitates!
One less enemy of man. I absolutely love it. It's great. So sit back, enjoy the rest of the show, enjoy the rest of this great voiceover from this fantastic commander, and I'll see you at the end.
Brothers, concentrate fire on my target! Servitors, to the macro cannon! Technologies report successful repair, Commander. Let them face our wrath. Commander. Enemy battleships silenced. A foot fighter returning to ship. Servitors, to the macro cannon! That's a fight by your side. Even their might requires a Commander Emperor's might. Enemy battleship detected. This is an cruiser eradicated. One less enemy of man.
Well, that was an awesome battle, especially for a tier 7, when you guys know tier 7, tier 8, and legendary tends to be a little bit more conservative play. And in this one, you can see both teams stuck to the caps. Nobody ran to the edge of the map or anything. It was fantastic. So job well done on both teams. So let's go ahead and jump into the ship and commander setup. If you have Mainz Collector's Edition, or if you're lucky enough to get the new edition of Mainz that is currently in the holiday crates, this ship and commander setup will help you, and I will go ahead and give you an alternate commander as well. The new edition of Mainz is more than likely going to hit the store at some point for either doubloons or global XP. So definitely look for it on the horizon if you do not get it in the crate. So jumping into the upgrades, I went aiming system mod 1, so that way I could get the extra 7% dispersion on the main battery. I went propulsion mod 2. I originally had steering gears mod 2, thinking about going the double gears, so that way it helped better in kiting. The thing that I found was the ship was just not getting moving as well when I would kind of do the stop and stutter or throttle jockey move. So I ended up putting propulsion mod 2 on, and it has done 10 times better. Obviously, I'm going to go steering gears mod 3, so that way I can get some rudder shift. If you're thinking about concealment system mod 1 just to bring the detectability down, you're going to really wish you had steering gears when you start turning, trying to get out of the way of torpedoes or incoming fire. I just decided to go gunfire control system mod 2, so that way I could get that 10% main battery range, because the higher tiers is definitely more of a range game. So for the commander in and of itself, Riegerwald is a beast. Next time he comes up, try to grab him. I picked him up out of a very special ship. Hopefully I will get a Kraken up for you in that one, so I don't want to spoil it. The inspirations I am running is Von Mueller, so that way I could get additional speed. And I went Charles Madden, so that way I could get the traverse speed as well as the additional main battery reload. That stacking with his base trait of main battery reload as well as AP shell damage is definitely fantastic. I did go beyond range. Obviously I want as much range as possible in those higher tiers. This is where the magic happens. Kraken shells, so properly named. We get the additional cruiser speed and we get that additional AP shell penetration. So that stacking with the AP shell penetration multiplier on top of additional AP shell damage makes this thing an AP monster. So I ended up going fixated so that way I could get shell grouping as well as more dispersion. I want those shells to be able to connect. And I ended up going refill stations so that way I could get that additional reload. And obviously if somebody's in range, I can get an additional bump in that main battery range because my allied is getting that legendary perk triggered for me. So the other commander that I would suggest, if you have her, is going to be AL Hipper. And you can already see by the setup, beyond range, full speed ahead, punch through, fixated, and refill station. But hypothetically, you don't have any Azure Lane commanders. I would go ahead and go with your stock commander, Von Mueller, Inspiration, Madden, as well as Norman Scott for the shell grouping. And as you can see, same thing, beyond range, igniter. Here I did go speed because I don't have the additional speed from the Kraken shells, but his base trait is maximum cruiser speed. So if you didn't want to go the additional speed, you don't have to. You could always go punch through to get that AP shell damage as well as that AP shell multiplier. I did go fixated again for the main battery shell grouping and dispersion, and again refill station. So this is the ship and commander setup I'm running, and I would suggest running for Mainz and or the new edition of Mainz out of the crates. I hope that helps. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, stay frosty out there.